Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. As more and more time goes by, and I think about all the beloved games I used to play entirely too long ago that I really don't want to talk about right now. I think about, wow, this game on the PlayStation 1 or this game on the PlayStation 2, that would be great with updated graphics and less tanky controls. Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve was just talking about those today. How beautiful they would look if they just, some updated graphics, remastered, maybe a remake. But as time goes on, I think more and more to myself, please don't touch these beautiful, beloved games. And nothing could be closer to the truth, than what was shown off at this year's PlayStation State of Play when it comes to Silent Hill 2, especially after this little announcement from Konami confirms Bloober's team's Silent Hill 2 remake designed for modern audiences. I'm still waiting for someone to explain what exactly is the modern audience. Who is this make-believe, this odd, strange demographic that developers seem to think exists, that has all the money in the world to spend on one game after another, that they are creating one remake after another for this modern audience? I do not understand. After the trailer, there's a little bit of a cinematic trailer, people had a few things to say about it, and I want to get into it. Now, it's possible if you haven't played the game. It's a 20-year-old game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend go pick up the original. Do whatever you have to go pick up the original. It is a beautiful, well-done game. Mature game with mature stories and mature elements. Maybe that is what they're referring to when they talk about the modern audience, the complete and total lack of maturity and the ability to deal with mature stories. Konami comes across in this little tweet, see how the Bloober team devs working on Silent Hill 2 preserved authenticity. Press X to doubt in the chat. Son of a bitch. While adapting a horror classic for modern audiences. I'm so tired of that buzzword, aren't you? A lot of people are. Anyway, in the accompanying video, the game's lead producer, I wouldn't even begin. Gloam detailed, quote, I think the biggest change that we've had was actually how to make the game approachable for newcomers. So what on earth did you change to not affect the delicate sensibilities of the modern audience? What would you have to do to make the game more approachable? The only thing you need to do in a game like Silent Hill is update the graphics, update the fidelity, make the fog thicker. Yeah, do it. And adjust the controls. That's the only thing you have to do to a game like this, of this caliber, of this level of masterpiece. You don't have to do anything else. Maybe work on some of the dialogue. Again, update the graphics, update the controls, and that's it. Leave everything else alone. But no, you have to get your greedy little grubs in there, thinking to yourself, we can do it better than the creator themselves. But at the same time, to retain the familiarity of the game that player remembers from 20 years ago. Again, press X to doubt in the comments. I got it right this time. Creative designer and lead director Matthews Lennart. I'm trying, folks. I really am. Quote, our goal from the very beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere, liar, while modernizing the gameplay, destroying the gameplay, to make it competitive. I wonder, what does that actually mean? To make the game competitive in 2024, all you have to do, this is no different than printing money. Okay? This is no different than Disney Star Wars. You buy a franchise or Disney Marvel. You have the ability to print money, but no, you're going to modernize it and make it competitive. Do whatever buzzword you want to put in there, and you end up ruining it, thinking that you can do it better than the original creator. You fail miserably. And especially after the look of the first trailer, my goodness. Barbara, where are these names coming from? Kook, Bloober's team senior narrative designer, explained how the company changed the story. Now, there is a mistake that you will live to regret. At least your bottom line on the sales of this game will definitely regret. Quote, in the remake, the story remains largely the same. It should stay exactly the same. However, the magic of modern technology, we're able to expand on some of the aspects. There's nothing you have to expand on. Anyway, senior combat designer Monica Shimura. The hardest was designing combat. Now that I can see happening. Considering the original, I believe they were tank controls. Static ideas, when you turned a corner, your whole screen changed. Unless I'm thinking of another game, Dino Crisis maybe. But yeah, in those senses, yes, absolutely. Adjust and adapt and modernize that. That is the only modernization you need to do with a game like this. Sure, it's a 20-year-old game. You modernize the graphics. Make it prettier. Make it more atmospheric. Make it more horrifying. And modernize the controls. There's all the work done. Everything else, the story's done. The characters are done. The model design, the look of the characters is all done for you. This is printing money, but instead you're going to burn it. We want you to be as faithful, liar, as possible to the original game, Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire, but also we want players to feel satisfaction while playing. Did anybody who's played Silent Hill 2 not feel satisfied when they played? Anyway, remember that we need to fit into the horror genre. Inaudible? Whatever. Oh boy, oh boy. Confirmation that the game was designed for designed for modern audiences comes in the wake of the game being accused of pushing a DIE agenda by working with video game consultancy Hit Detection. Just another SBI clone. Those accusations were made following the game being showcased during the most recent Stony State of Play video at the end of May. That just came out. There are a couple of games that I enjoyed on it. Let's not break off on a tangent. Ex-user Manga Lawyer specifically pointed out the change in the character designs for Angela. Now, I went through, I've seen these pictures, these side-by-sides and everything. There's a few disclaimers and everything. But I just want to say, I went back and watched the trailer, and outside of one single scene where Angela's on the floor begging for her life, they look horrendous. This is not a matter of, oh, it's just a bad angle. No, they widened her jaw. They widened her neck. Why are you doing this to female characters? Learning the Law says, Manga Lawyer says, in my restless dreams, I can't read. I see that town, Silent Hill 2, Modern Cheeseburger Remake. You promised me you'd take me there again someday with a side of fries and a milkshake, but that day never came. The Crimson Chin. Oh my goodness, that's not very nice, Manga Lawyer. It's funny though, so definitely funny. Why would you continue to do this with female characters? But no, that is not the only change they make. And, well, this is where the problems come into play. Situations like this where you change the female characters, can you call it an ideological change, pushing some sort of agenda, or just flat out incompetence? If this was the only thing, I would call it flat out incompetence. However, it becomes absurdly intentional when you look at the difference in Maria's look. Now, if you didn't know this, and I could not remember this, I did play Silent Hill 1 and 2, beat them both. But again, 20 years ago, played them on the original PlayStations. 1 and 2, whatever. Maria served a purpose in Silent Hill 2. She was the embodiment of James's guilt and his desire, as can be seen by per Captain Sheppy. Grum sits there and says, Silent Hill fans make a good point. Maria's look serves a story purpose. Her look serves a purpose. There's a reason why she looks that way. It's not because some male dev over-sexualized them in any way, shape, or form. No, per Captain Sheppy says, Maria is an allegory for James's guilt and desire. She is a more sexualized version of his dead wife. So, of course, she is going to appear a little sluttier, because he's a figment of James's imagination put there by the city of Silent Hill. This is how you know they didn't. Not only did they not play the original, they don't know the story, but they have no intention of respecting the original source material. Something we should all be used to by now. This is an insight into James's psyche, which is at the very core of the game. Modern audiencing her makes no sense. Other people talking about this. Grum's talking about, oh, this wonderful individual. Suicide Squad game devs, which should, after Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you shouldn't even pay attention to anything they have to say, but we'll continue. Devs mocks gamer outrage over uglification of characters in Silent Hill 2. Look at what they did to Maria. She was never over-sexualized in the original. Now, what exactly does this good old dev says? Del Walker, the Cartel Del. Responsible, one of the game devs on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I believe The Last of Us Part 2. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. You know, you know. He says on Twitter, in response to Kate Bush's husband, they made Maria allergic to serving. No! But his response, which is wonderful, as a game dev, I'm here to tell you these situations arise when there are too many men on the team. They overcorrect for the hypersexuality of the 90s, and there's no woman in the room to say, relax, some women like dressing in leopard print and crop tops, and that's okay. Again, missing the entire point of Maria's look. She is supposed to represent desire and guilt. Not understanding that means you fail at the game. And yet, at the very beginning of the trailer, the gameplay trailer, Konami has the nerve to put this statement. Faithfully remade in the original vision. We've already had a couple of examples, actually multiple examples. If you took a look at the statues of the nurses, they look to have been desexualized as well, which is the mature meaning, the story, part of the story of Silent Hill 2. Sexualization, James's desires, his guilt, and everything in between. But you want to put this disclaimer on there? Not disclaimer. It's a lie, a flat-out lie. Faithfully remade in the original version? Vision? No. Press X to doubt. How bad will this game sell? I'm going to go ahead and end it right now. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Do all those nifty little things us YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.